Alright guys, so yep, we are, or I guess I am, selling the Shelby. So some of you guys I'm sure are going to be a little bit disappointed. Some of you guys are not going to care since clearly my channel does better with off-road vehicles. But what I thought I'd do in today's video is just kind of talk about why I'm selling it and, you know, what other kind of cars I've been considering or that are maybe coming down the line. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get straight into it. Alright, so the biggest reason that I'm selling the car is, the best way I can explain it is, I simply just haven't gelled with the car. You know, it's not a car that I just crave to drive all the time. You know, it's not like, man, I can't wait till Sunday morning so I can hop in and go for a drive. And I think most of that has to be down to a couple of things. Is one, because it's a dedicated track car, and that I'm not using it on the track, I'm using it out on the road, it's not as enjoyable because that's not where this car is meant to be. The ride isn't very good. The interior also rattles quite a bit. And since I have experienced my Camaro 1LE for a car that costs way less money than this, and I had more fun in that car, I think that kind of spoiled me for this. Not that this is a bad car, it's just I just haven't gelled with it. Because, again, I don't have the time to go out on track and truly enjoy the thing for what it's meant to be used for. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I just haven't gelled with the car. For the money, since I don't use it, it doesn't make any sense to have a car in the garage that I don't use, like, ever. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, I use their off-road stuff very frequently. You know, days after I buy them, they get sent off-road and, you know, get to have a blast. So it doesn't sit right with me for me to own a car and not use it. That just doesn't make any sense. So since I don't have the drive to, or the motivation, or whatever the word is, to just hop in the car and go for a drive, it doesn't make sense for me to have it. So it's a cool car, just not for me. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and talk about some of the other cars that I've kind of been considering as a replacement, if you will. All right, so since we're selling the Shelby, what does that basically mean for what car is coming in the future? So there's been a couple of cars, and I'll kind of address the biggest one that I feel like some of you guys are kind of expecting me to get, which would be the Z06. Keep in mind, guys, they announced that car like a year ago. At the time I'm making this, it's basically a year ago. It's in October, so, and there's still none out there. Like, no one's gotten any delivered. They're barely building any. So, like, for me personally, that car is so far away, it's not even funny. Just quite frankly, I'm probably not going to get one of those to where that car is even still popular, just because I'm probably going to get it, you know, probably a year or two after most people on YouTube have got it, which is cool. But just, you know, don't expect me to be getting a super early one. Other car I was considering, now this gets kind of more into the manual side of things, because I still want a car with a manual, because again, as great as the C8 is, you know, it just doesn't have that same engagement that a manual does. And as you guys know, I'm a fan of having a manual. Other car I was considering was a Lotus Emira, which is also going to be extremely hard to get, which I didn't expect. I expected that like in like the UK or in Europe. I didn't expect it to be as popular in America, just because typically I figured that Americans would rather buy, like, for example, a C8 Corvette, because it's faster, has 8 cylinders and whatnot. So it shocked me that there is quite a super high demand for that car. So not getting one of those. Then the kind of cars that I'm really looking at, that I'm actually really considering, would be, which I put a post on Instagram if you guys follow me on there, @driven_mad. And that is the 718 Cayman GTS 4-liter with a manual. Not the GT4, because as I've experienced with the Shelby, I don't really want a dedicated track car unless I'm actually able to take it to a track, which at this time I'm not. So GTS 4.0, I've driven one. I really like the way it drove, but, you know, I'm just not quite sold on it necessarily. Still kind of think it's still kind of up in the air. The other car I've been considering is the first gen Audi R8 V8 with the manual. Because, I mean, how do you not like a gated manual? Now, I haven't driven one of those. I haven't really, like, been in one. I've been, you know, right next to one, but I've just never been inside one and driven it. So I'm still kind of waiting to do that. So we'll see. But those are kind of the main two cars that I'm kind of thinking of. So we'll see which one wins out of those two. But anyways, moral of the story is the Shelby is leaving. It's been a great car. I don't regret the experiences that I've had in it. You know, flying down to Florida with my cousin to pick it up and drive it all the way back was awesome. Taking it to the autocross event with him and his GR86 was also a great time. It's just
The car itself, I'm just not quite sold on. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, enjoyed the little update, you know, give it a like and make sure you guys subscribe. And if you guys have any suggestions about what cars should be next, you know, feel free to leave a comment down below. Doesn't mean that I'll buy it, but hey, you never know. And yeah, anyways, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.